Can hear it in the building as they get ready for deep
the offensive glass as much as possible.
Washington and traveled last night. They're without Cade Cunningham, so Danis, Jacob Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren for Detroit at 50 wins, 25-8 in this building. Tobias Harris, cold-blooded scorer, but Guy Santos
kept it from going to the middle. That is the coverage, the game plan coverage you're looking for. No mistakes.
Jamski and Melton, Guy Santos, Draymond, and Porzingis. And DeAnthony Melton, you're going to get fouled against this team. Get to the line right away.
They're 30th there, and you just get a great cut in there. As soon as your man turns their head and they're ball watching, you go.
Bickerstaff would say, are we 30th in fouls? He's done a great job here in Detroit.
Well, I was so sad to say, don't let anything steal your joy. And that's kind of their mentality, all the adversity they faced. For the Warriors, too. They faced a ton of adversity. Coach Kerr has been tested when it comes to keeping his joy, but great attitude on both sides. It's opportunity time for guys like Jenkins.
Jenkins missed everything, and Draymond, I use Cade Cunningham's grandma's thought when I work with you. I don't let anyone steal my joy.
Well, it's Jamie Bickerstaff's grandma, but I'm sure his grandma had some great sayings, too.
I was talking to Cade's grandma, all right? But Jamski driving, flipping it up and out. You saw Duren protect the Thompson headed the other way. Jenkins saved the turnover. Duncan Robinson cannot leave him from the three-point line. And Guy Santos is right there to contest that three. Anthony Melton bombing in a three. The Warriors have struggled so mightily from distance as of late. They're going to break.
Wasn't close enough. Rise up and shoot it with confidence.
Tobias Harris flipping it up and in. Throughout his career, no matter where he's up with the turnover, Duren running over Draymond, and that'll be an offensive foul, and that's a business decision right there to take that charge.
Respect, Draymond. You made up for it for the team. That is a tone-setting defensive play for Draymond Green.
Yeah, Duren goes 6'10", 250. Duncan Robinson side. Sarn Thompson wants to attack the rim. Went with the left hand, couldn't finish. Draymond, the rebound in motion. He's thrown two away now. This team is so good defensively, you got to get shots on goal. Duren with the good catch, and Tobias Harris will back it out. Duncan Robinson on Porzingis, and he will pick up
is that they can control with effort and trying to bring the physicality. They do those things offensively. And it's really tough to be great offense. Have to go up against a set defense the whole night. That first back cut, he was trying to get it to Guy Santos. As Duncan Robinson missed the free throw. They had him set it that Guy Santos was going to be able to shoot Duncan Robinson, but Duncan Robinson, give him credit. People try to go at him. He's got another turnover here.
So 3 turnovers to play without him.
That's the last thing the Warriors need.
Robinson cutting back door.
That's a goal set.
Should have been and hit the backboard. The Warriors caught a break there. Anthony Melton, tough take, and you saw Detroit defend the rim.
Well, Jalen Duren's not going to back down. He went straight up.
Now the next dead ball, that should have been a goaltend. Count the basket. Yeah, you can play on from there, but we're still rewarding that team with a basket.
That and revamp the 65-game thing, because Cade Cunningham not being on first all-team All-NBA and having a chance to be an MVP candidate, that's going to rub people wrong way. He played 61 games. He's been amazing.
Porzingis for 3, off iron there. Does any team?
Nah. I mean, this is the current version of the Bad Boy Pistons.
Jenkins is fouled.
The modern-day version of him. And Jenkins, what a story he is. I mean, signed a 2-way contract, got it converted. He's been
with the final year at St. John's. Duren down the lane. GP2 got a lot of the ball there. And they're going to call the foul on Gary. And that will put Duren at the line.
But Duren got his body fat down this summer, got his strength and go. And I remember I said he's worked on his ball handling, because JB Bickerstaff is like, you know what, we want you to
bring through free throwing. Averaging 19 and 10, Jalen Duren. He's becoming a star. Great cut without the ball by DeAnthony Melton, and a nice finish.
So they think that he's going to come off the split action. Juked him. I couldn't keep his man, his body in between him and the basket. That was nice.
Porzingis and Draymond combined. Draymond couldn't quite save it on the sideline.
Oh, we got drink spillage over there. Oh no. Draymond Green, he's home.
Line.
Yeah, blue collar. get things done here. The more people, the better.
So the Pistons 7, D'Anthony Melton 7. Shot clock at 3. This is where you want Ausar Thompson to live.
And he's still give him a drive.
He's a 27% three-point shooter. GP2 inside, and you see Durham turn him away. Draymond for 3. Battled that out, but Gary keeping it alive. Payton nearly had the save, but stepped on the sideline.
Another. It's like that can take a while. You got a lot of stoppage.
Say what cities would have done the slowest.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go in on any city.
Heath Santos is back on the bench. That's a good sign. Ausar Thompson on the turnaround in the lane. Very dangerous outside. You can see the pressure level of the Pistons defense. Shot clock at 9. Melton a very deep 3. Draymond the offensive rebound, extra opportunity. Anthony Melton continues to attack and continues to score. Pistons 9.
His glass. Draymond shot in there. Give it to D'Anthony Melton.
Tobias Harris, head of the key 3. Jamski running it back up, a made basket. Melton getting inside and couldn't been getting there. Tobias and Durham hammering that down, and Steve Kerr going to use a timeout.
Well, you like him drifting to his right. Tobias Harris there. Jenkins, Tobias Harris, Karis LeVert coming in off the bench. Ron Holland. They got a lot of guys who are going to embrace this challenge.
Yeah, GP2 ball. Pat Spencer's first playing time. Skip past Keith Santos and little sidestep 3 to beat the buzzer. So the Warriors, after Melton made the first one.
I'm just happy to see Keith Santos back.
Tobias, and good recovery by Draymond Green, and Pat Spencer came back for that rebound.
Give your body up for the sake of your team to get those rebounds. Pat Spencer's willing to do it.
Can anyone not name D'Anthony Melton score? Pat Spencer says yes.
You see the pump fake there, the patience when he got it. Instead of turning it over, let me try to make something happen myself and drive it in here.
Jenkins getting all the way to the rim.
And there's that speed.
This is definitely a March Madness type game. You're the Warriors. You're the significant underdog. You're playing the beast of the East. GP2 was pulled down and fouled. Ron Holland the other way, and that is a goaltend.
So some of the mistakes, being able to exploit switches that you can do, so taking care of the ball is going to be paramount.
Cycling around to Will Richard, just came off the bench and put it in the bucket. Will has been struggling for
even a team as good as this defensively, they're going to have a tough time keeping up with that.
Karis LeVert, what a great handler, what a great driver, and a cold-blooded scorer, got all the way to the rim.
I'm telling you, he's looking to do the collective thing. No one person is going to make up for what Cunningham does.
High screen roll with Yurt 7. No quick post tonight. Heath Santos having that blocked out of bounds, but appeared to. Well, this is a tough matchup for Draymond. He's got Jalen Duren. They're going to play Draymond as a small ball 5 here.
Now you just got to take care of the ball, which the Warriors did not do.
Stepkins.
7 in the first quarter, now 8.
Playing with Duren. Get Holland inside. Javonte Green will launch the 3. And I tell you, the Warriors.
You collapsed on everybody in the middle. Whoever flashes in there, Warriors did that, and then leave the shooters they want to shoot threes open.
But Jamski just batted that to Cryer. That was going to be another turnover, and
this one is.
These turnovers leading to buckets on the other. That in to GP2.
And Warriors aren't settling for the 3 ball. Even though they've hit 4 of 9, they're looking to drive as much as possible. Show and go. So you want to keep that mentality up.
Step back threes do not work. But Jalen Duren, even a missed 3, becomes a basket. LJ Cryer. Green recovered. Cryer buries another 3. So LJ, it is fun to watch him shoot a hamstring, so they got to be careful.
Anytime a defender goes under his ball screen, he's going to let it fly.
Danish Jenkins will pick up the foul on Keith Santos.
You know who you look like there? We were talking about him the other way, D. Wade. On his pick and roll. You know, like the side. But, man, he is shifty.
That is a great call, Katie. Yeah, Dwayne Will.
One of the most impressive things that I thought was with this team throughout the season. They're 9-2 in the second game of back-to-backs.
Yeah.
They have a sense of urgency with Kate Cunningham going down, so that might fuel them a little bit.
Pajemski hides behind the Draymond screen, and how about the Warriors? 6 of 11 on threes.
I think I'm going to give you credit. I think.
Well, still early. Jenkins cycling around. Levert's got an open three. Jalen Durham just finding him and rebounding against him is easier said than done. He's already got 10 points.
And the Warriors have bodies on him. Oh, he turned it over.
GP2 had ruled.
Of course.
Jake Cryer's hit a couple threes. He's got Detroit's attention. Draymond that high screen. Another three on the way, and there it is. LJ Cryer paying dividends. He was big in March last year.
Del Curry set shot footage on YouTube. The YouTube algorithm for a while just kept sending me Del Curry, but I just wanted to figure out how he did that. He was so good at that set shot three.
LJ Cryer, he also was drafted in the MLB. He could have been a baseball player. That's what a great athlete he was. Jenkins from the elbow.
See, that's one of those ball screens that's...
Well, he wanted Cryer shooting 2 free throws.
He's going crazy right now on the officials. That's a turn.
Pajemski is fouled.
Yeah, he was wanting a foul. And Tyler Hansel tonight with J.B. Bickerstaff and Coach Kerr both going at him. Sometimes you got to play through some contact. You know it's going to come. You're not surprised by it.
Melton's got 11. Chaz Lanier checking in. Jenkins calling his own number again. Off back iron. Melton back for the rebound in a cream-colored jersey. He's got to get to the glass against this Pistons team.
And they're doing a good job.
Melton an open three. Draymond does that with Steph and has for 4.
Just takes advantage of his guy cheating off of him, sagging off him so much. So set a handoff screen. Whoever you set the screen for is going to have some space off there. D'Anthony Melton found that out.
Here back to Holland. Thought about that three. Basketball, Paul winds up and misses the three. Good box out, Pat Spencer initially, and just pep ball to Guy Santos. Every possession critical against a team as good as Detroit.
And even though Paul Reed is 37% from three-point range, Warriors are going to hit. We're just going to live with some of this. We're going to clog up the paint.
Melton missed that three short.
Because you've done that. You've done a great job keeping them to one shot most of the time here.
Tobias Harris. Going to work on Melton. Porzingis was stunting behind him. Jenkins driving. Porzingis is there again. Shot clock at 5. Danis Jenkins, what a nice finish there.
He did an amazing job just not trapped. Somehow he has the body control and the pivot game to get himself out of jail.
One taken away. And dug down. I'll tell you, they take it from you and finish on the other end. Paul Reed with
He scored 9 points on that. They forced 10 and only scored 7.
Porzingis missing that three. Tobias Harris the rebound. You're in the game. That's the first thing against an elite team. They were never in that Celtics game.
You're leading.
Tobias Harris putting in the free throw line jumper, and Steve Kerr going to take the timeout. Galena said it. You're still on top midway through the second quarter. Every level.
I'm sure he's got a lot of friends here outside of the Warriors. He roots for the Pistons, and understandably so.
Porzingis on Tobias Harris. Shot over him, it just flat a little bit.
Anytime Porzingis gets an ISO, you're going great news.
Paul Reed. Okay, now this is what I'm wondering, the free arm. Now it's allowed in the league now, but it's something they have to talk about.
It wasn't egregious enough. It used a lot of shoulder too, so if you could be subtle about it, use more shoulder, don't drop your shoulder. There you go.
Oh, what a pass. Pat Spencer to GP2.
Yeah, his defender Jenkins just got caught ball watching and he cutting at the right time.
Yeah, Gary, 6 straight games in double figures. 8 is his career best. Duncan Robinson on the mid-range.
He's moving without the ball.
It's been good basketball.
Oh, Warriors, you're ahead because of your three-point shooting.
Porzingis missing that three.
And their lack thereof. Now you're 8 for 16.
And just Porzingis' length saved the basket there. If they keep it tucked to the shoulder, it's where the free arm becomes kind of warding the defender off.
Yeah, I'm good with a no call there.
Sar Thompson, that one flat. Draymond comes back for the work defensively tonight. That's Spencer and Pajemski. Pods in on Duncan Robinson. I tell you, Brandon is doing a good job. Make sure there's contact, then worry about shooting the ball.
Yeah, find it. Make him foul you. And Duncan Robinson
free throws courtesy of Waymo.
Pod give?
Right.
What is my line? You know what I mean? Like, he's going to say, I kept my line, but the officials are like, no, you went into his line.
Paul Reed. Basketball, Paul's coming alive for shooting. Deflected back, and it's going to be a backcourt violation on the Warriors.
When it comes to rebounds.
Yeah, you've had Guy Santos banged up, and now Porzingis back in the locker room, and you have enough bodies. It's going to be the question. Sar Thompson sucking up that space, and Draymond knocked it away. Warriors' compete level has never been questioned. They're going to battle you no matter who is available in a jersey. Shot clock at 9. GP2. Melton sensing a seam down the lane, and Reed defended the rim. Dribble, good job by Podziemski to slow down that Pistons break. Now Harris looking to find Reed on the roll. Step around, and Draymond made that a very difficult shot. Duncan Robinson, they run him off the line initially. Reload, missed the three. Podziemski. Now Robinson an open three. He doesn't miss those.
Yeah, the basketball gods were going to make you pay for that one. An opponent 2-point shooting percentage.
Right. Now, Kristaps Porzingis went to the locker room with a lower back issue. So Malachi Leon starts the second half. Podziemski missing there. He already had tension or something. He came back to play, but the Warriors are just down bodies.
It's just so bad. When it rains, it pours, it feels like.
And they deny Duren. The ricochets back out to Tobias Harris. Quentin Post is not active tonight. And Podziemski, what a great. Santos not settling for the three. Malachi having that spiked. And you got a good Melton working for an extra possession. Draymond setting up Melton again. His three on the way, rimming out. And the Pistons just don't get fooled very often. And Asar at 100 miles an hour. Let's fly to Atlanta.
He tried to get fancy with it. Instead of jumping into the defender,
But anything near him is a problem. And Asar Thompson the steal, gets Tobias Harris the layup.
You want to make sure Draymond, the last possession where even though they missed a shot, he got in the lane, he took a beat there. He wasn't rushed.
Podziemski cutting back door. Draymond found him nicely.
Another one where Draymond takes a beat. He's not rushed. First, okay, you know he's open, throw the pass.
Pistons, a 50-win team, 25-8 at home, an elite defensive squad, the best team in the Eastern Conference. Duncan Robinson couldn't get that off. DeAnthony Melton was there. Duren to beat the shot clock buzzer. That's 24 seconds of great defense by the
lazy there and messes everything up for the Warriors defense, but you didn't let that happen.
Malachi Leons to a cutting Guy Santos to lay it up and in.
The Warriors are showing some patience here. You get a look from Guy Santos. And sometimes that's what it takes against these really good defensive teams. A little patience.
Duren just banging and bumping will pick up a foul. Flip that up and in.
Well, Jalen Duren, he's trying to keep his verticality, maybe not.
So Duren completes a three-point play. Against Houston, having won 11 in a row.
Yeah.
So from Boston to Detroit to Atlanta. Difficult tour of the East. Draymond missed that three. Malachi Leons with the rebound. Malachi backing down Jenkins to put it up and in.
Yeah, he's got a small defender. Like, don't throw an advantage. You're the advantage. That's the boldness you need from Malachi Leons.
Malachi was a great defender in college at Bradley. Dealing with Tobias Harris. Duren inside again.
And so where's the foul there? That's a tough one because Melton
came
got
over knocked 9 feet away.
Melton came over to double team
Price for 5 years.
That was well done. I love how you, like, a lot of times you'll find different ways to say the same thing. But
well, it's a long season.
It hits hard all the same.
Duren hits hard too. He's 1 of 2 from the line. Sitting there in a 7-point game, a 7-point Detroit lead at halftime. Melton dribbled through the whole roster to set up Guy Santos for 3. And Duren with the rebounds.
I was going to say, was he going to try to post up from outside the three-point line?
Tobias Harris to a cutting Asar Thompson. He did well just to catch that and then finished. The reason he had a huge impact on the game. Anthony Melton gets Duren out top. They double Draymond. Knock it away with the shot clock at 7. GP2, shot clock at 3. The Warriors get nothing there. Detroit headed. Drop it inside, and Duren will hammer it down. GP2 behind the play, and Steve's got to use the timeout.
Points right now.
Good to see the GP2 able to continue as banged up as the Warriors have been. And the Warriors, that becomes their 6th.
Throw tough passes.
Feed into Durham. Great play by GP2. And I'll say Jalen Duren touched it last is the call, but
GP2 touched it last.
Yeah, that's going to be fixed. And that's just officials. Oh, Enes Jenkins. To the cutting of Sar Thompson, and like you said, he can just jump over people to finish.
Well, his man just left him there. They shifted to the other side, and Sar Thompson just took advantage.
Melton missed that 3 wide right. Fine offensively here. Tobias Harris, they double him. Able to get it back, and they throw the lob, and Draymond knocked it away. Great play, Draymond Green, and oh no! You don't want to be diving at guys' legs. I hope Melton's all right, and he is. That is
the worst thing about that.
Incredibly. LJ Cryer with Jenkins on him.
I was about to say, you might want to get LJ Cryer back in the game here.
Yurt 7 kicking it out to GP2 and rattled home a 3. I like Omer that took his time and then found
Recognize it. Make a read. The defense collapses on you as you're rolling. Short roll in there. Go ahead and pass it out. GP2 is ready.
So Porzingis injured and went to the locker room. Keith Santos injured, went to the locker room. How many hit Melton? He just held your breath on that last play. Knocked away right back to Tobias Harris, and that's just a bad bounce of the ball. It was good defense, but the ricochet
Reflection, but he was just in the right place at the right time. Oh, no.
Dribbling against Sar Thompson is a problem, and Duren will reward the youngster. The league has to offer.
You just have to beware when he's around. He's one of those guys. Defensively.
5.5 remaining in the third. Warriors were down 7 at halftime. Pistons just a smothering defense. Shot clock at 3. GP2 baby hook. And here comes Jenkins lost his footing, and Yurt 7. See Duren always protecting the rim. And this time Yurt 7 is fouled by Tobias Harris.
I was about to say, the Pistons are bringing a lot of ball pressure. They're getting really physical. You don't want to wilt under that ball pressure. A lot of time when the guys soup him and loosen up their defense a little bit.
We talked about the
fun in points in the paint as Yurt 7 misses a free throw. And now it'll be tough for them to eat up that real estate. 13 more games left for the Pistons. I wouldn't be surprised if the Celtics leapfrog, but they could keep that #1 spot as Jenkins
missing there, but Paul Reed the rebound.
Who's that hand?
Jenkins down the lane.
Quickness. You got that.
Yeah, the other thing Steve Kerr's got to decide is, you flying and playing in Atlanta tomorrow. How much do you run guys into the ground tonight as Yurt 7 turns that over? Duncan Robinson, sidestep, reload 3. Jenkins counting that home. And Steve Kerr will use another timeout. So this is Detroit's biggest lead. They have tried
to take care of it, and they're just all over the place. They just fly around.
Santos on Duncan Robinson, and Guy will get to the line. I tell you, Malachi Leon's had to back down and score. Guy's like, I have Duncan Robinson on me.
Yeah. That any chance you get against a Duncan Robinson, against a smaller defender.
Oh, and then Dallas on Monday to finish off a season-high long road trip.
And it helped them in the first half a little bit, take him out of rhythm, but then the Pistons got a beat on it.
Ron Holland drawing some contact.
I said the Pistons are #1 in points in the paint. They have 52 points in the paint right now. Holland's getting the free throw line because he was looking to get some more. And for a team that's 20th, they still get in the paint because they're so smart. They drive any chance they get. Anytime you do close out to him, he misses a second.
And they get Beef Stew back. Isaiah Stewart, he and Jalen Duren, huge reason why.
The paint anytime they want, even though they haven't shot the 3-ball way well, 58 points in the paint. The second chance points aren't really that bad, only 8 to 4.
Sliding down, but getting it to Duren, and stepping around. Jalen Duren really has improved. This is now year 4, but he's still only 22 years of age, and then for year 7. Duren inside, and the Warriors they're going to foul him this time.
Well, that's what year 7 is trying to do, is front Jalen Duren there. So Pistons finally got to 50 wins this season. They hadn't done that since 08.
Yeah.
Upward trend this Pistons team is on is super steep.
Lob to Duren, he just gently guides it home. Pat Spencer missing that 3. Year 7 the rebound, and Omer trying to tip it a couple times, staying with it. 4th time, still got it, good hands. One more time, into the foul line. So Omer, year 7 there, and earning those 2 free throws.
That's good hands. Even though they're not a great three-point shooting team, they don't shoot a ton of threes. That's not their thing. They do smart with their attack. Even the way they run the pick and rolls, that last possession, they always get movement into the pick and rolls. So the big man that's guarding it is such a disadvantage. They can throw it over the top like they did there.
Yeah, Duren's averaging nearly 20 a game. He has not attempted a 3 all season. Pat Spencer knocked lead.
The lacrosse superstar. That hand-eye coordination is through the roof.
As a player,
yeah, don't get out of pocket.
Play to your strengths.
Don't get out of pocket.
Anthony Melton picked that up, went back up. Year 7 saved it. Jalen Duren, step around, and he will get to the line again.
You have an identity. You're a defensive team. You drive. You're smart with your attack.
There's so many teams launching threes, and the analytics take all these threes. You know what? I'll take the analytics of Jalen Duren dunking on your head. Asar Thompson and LeVert laying it up and in, and Steve Kerr will use another timeout.
Their defense leads
7 and Malafai Leon. Still Draymond and Porzingis right now. Warriors play tomorrow in Atlanta. And 7 continues to get fouled.
I was saying before the game, we were a good way to prepare for this game. Wrong with the ball security is huge in this game.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said that wasn't their calling card. They didn't run you out of the building with threes in league history. Just 20 or more every single night.
So I did the game afterwards, and he was struggling. He had 4 points in the first half. And you're going, okay, is he
going to end tonight?
Is it going to end tonight? Like, what's happening? Like, that was the biggest, most stressful part about the game.
He can make a basket right now. Karis LeVert missing, but tipped up and in. Paul Reed following the play.
The Warriors training almost got run over.
J.B. Bickerstaff and Mitchell Urban saved a calamity there. As your 7 scores.
Rose drinks are getting spilled.
The ball girl was wiping it up, and one of the Pistons wanted to steal her towel. I mean, that's how good they are defensively.
They got on the floor for the towel.
And as Jenkins missed.
They're so desperate to get deflections, they're falling into each other. He almost took his teammate out. He almost rolled up on his team. Stand on business. Everybody is 10 toes deep defensively.
Podziemski on the baseline. Kick out to Malafai Leons for 3, and he banked it home. A bank shot that happened earlier today. They can travel to Atlanta and then take attendance and see who can go tomorrow night against the Hawks. Paul Reed, nice step through, good finish. Paul Reed's got 5 Pistons in double figures. And another foul as Podziemski was driving.
Most of the time, you're just like, man, this team is all over us.
You know where it's going to pay dividends.
So much.
That was the Chuck Daly thing. That was the Jordan rules. I'm going to blame
Beer was not.
Rick Mahorn, Dennis Rodman. Ooh. There, you're at 7. And then Malafai Leons also hurt.
He just went.
The Warriors want to check that out.
Drew Yoder is like, what'd you do?
My guys. Well, Moses was going to practice and just shooting left-handed.
Of course.
He had a brace on that right wrist.
He's got a basketball Jones.
Yeah, the brace is off now.
As if I saw him over there just doing defensive slides or something. Just
love Moses Moody.
He can't even play his guitar that he keeps bringing anymore.
I know, Pat Spencer floating that home. A very significant injury. Hopefully he'll be back for the postseason. Holland scoring inside. It's too good a story.
Well, Cade Cunningham promised this when he got drafted. Like, we're going to do some winning here. And then
Santos will get to the line.
That's good patience there.
Losing in a huge way for a long time.
He's representative of your franchise.
So Rick Mahorn, who
Oh, man.
His text player.
He's awesome.
They had James Edwards and Rick Mahorn and Vinnie Johnson and Joe Dumars, Isaiah, Bill Laimbeer. That champ handoff to Ben Wallace and friends and Rasheed Wallace.
Rip Hamilton
and
Chauncey Billups. Yeah. Tayshaun Prince. Don't not name the Kentucky guy. You did it.
And tremendous player, despite going to Kentucky.
And really good post player, too. They give it to him in the post as the near misses. They give it to him in the post. So you always go that jump hook, and you couldn't stop it. You just take like 5 dribbles.
Ben Wallace, like, a couple rounds, 60 picks. Well, I don't want a guy who's going to. GP2, the steal. And Gary Duncan.
That kind of throws you off. It's like, oh, not that exciting to me.
Mr. Smith spinning. Mitchell Tolu Smith.
Yeah, he's an agile big, too. Can run the floor, finish at a high level. Will Richard for sure. Now, long term, that's a different story without Cade Cunningham.
Well, but
superstar.
It's going to galvanize them as Dennis Jenkins hits that three. Is that it's going to galvanize down. And they took it out on the Warriors tonight. You're at 7. There you go. Finishing there.
Yeah, 2 defenders stay up. But Dennis Jenkins is having a running conversation.
And you really admire the guys that have come from 2-way contracts, a lot like Keith Santos, and become legitimate players as Jenkins was fouled.
They always have a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, he is a. But then also the change of pace. He's got breaks that work, too. And it's tough to deal with. This whole team kept running. He's left the G League in his rear view. He doesn't want to see the G League anymore. He's not.
Atlanta's getting beat up by Houston tonight as GP2 is fouled.
So, I mean, there's no drop.
Azubuike in Kentucky had the win, and we.
Well, Santa Clara.
You're at 7, putting that up and in.
Santa Clara put up a valiant fight.
Will Richard missing that corner 3. Air ball goes to the offense. Pat Spencer setting up GP2 to put it up and in.
It's a good.
Hawks, well, they'd won 11 in a row until tonight. And Will Richard, it's 17 years without winning a playoff series, and you're saying that may come to an end this year.
I think so. And they're
they're every bit as good as advertised. Same thing with Boston. The Warriors got a good look at the top 2 teams in the East. Stop 5 will be Atlanta and then Dallas to finish off the road trip. But Detroit basketball is back. In the first 17 years without winning a playoff series, and you're saying that may come to an end this year.
I think so. And they're 7-2 now. They're going to try to keep holding the fort down.
JB Bickerstaff's done a great job, and Steve Kerr and Luke Walton, obviously, we love Luke for being part of that.